throw on first down with Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. There's Wilson to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Jets at 7-2 here on the year. And they were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that.
And it always hurts when you lose a tight game as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better one play here, one play there, maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes. But it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Wilson. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 3.5 to go, first quarter. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Tua to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Connor. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Forced out to his left. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So problems with air and passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on run throw.
Now Hall to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And some space here. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd and goal, Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Bo Melton. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Dolphins post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Dolphins are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to pass. Tua. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Tua going to throw. And going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They find some open field here. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tanner Conner, 54 yards. And the Dolphins have moved out in front. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they... Hall has it knocked loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Hall again on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play action. Now Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field. Was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. To throw again is Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 29, Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Ready. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. After the interception, here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And this one is right through. So that, Charles, a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call that a career long as well.
I love how you put that together because, you know, there's where everyone at home was saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, operating gun, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that with Tua hit, and the ball is out. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the...
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the third time. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football over to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Ball again on second down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and they have regained the lead. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now he'll throw deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run by Evans. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Tua sets up to pass it. Buying time to his left. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. Tua on 4th down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20, 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football. And that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And some room to maneuver. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Bo Melton with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Wilson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Pass midfield. And now the rookie's free. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
charts that tells you to go for two or go for one?
I don't. I know you do, but I don't care what the chart says there. You got to kick it, right?
I agree totally, because somewhere the chart's something's gonna pop out of the chart and say, hey man, just kick the extra point here. You're in good shape. I think they were chasing points there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, try to get a little bit greedy, take the lead in the fourth quarter. Now they still trail by one. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. On the counter, it's Hall, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
61, that's my
Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run with Hall. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
Squeeze, get in there.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's a fast release by Wilson out to the flat. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Down inside the 40.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Hall again on 2nd down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Set.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. DeAndre Hopkins, 38 yards. And the Jets answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead.
Well, partner, this hasn't been the smoothest day for him, but he certainly picked the right time to get right, as they like to say. How about that for a touchdown?
Boy, he did. I guess they say all's well that ends well. It's not over yet, but you're right. He picked a good time for that first touchdown pass.
Exactly right. Not over yet. The defense is going to make it hold up.
And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. And the formula there on the two-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Sanders now to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
That will tie the game at 34.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to half. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that will give you possession back. Now let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. Here's Thompson. Escaping the pressure right. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Fields the squib kick right around the 30. Now on the return, oh no, the ball. Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And that will write a finish to this ball game.